if you had your way, what would you like to improve with the Gilas program? Because I think what worries people is not really us not winning in the SEA Games, but our World Cup bid next year, which is very near, isang taon na lang, and then yung preparations natin leading to that.
Yes, if
If
I
you
had
had your way,
yes,
how would you construct this
if
whole
if
program?
if I had my way, we would already be preparing the team for the World Cup next year. And there's bits and pieces that is going on now, except it's the reality is it's not possible. For example, there are some players in the UAP and say that we really want to be on the team, but then when we put this team together, the deadline for the lineup, the UAP was still ongoing, so it was impossible. Hindi talaga pwede certain players, right? We want some players from the PBA, but they had injuries. So a couple of them had personal issues. They had to go and attend to family matters. They came. They were practicing already, and then something comes up. So that's why we have a pool, di ba? Because hindi mo talaga maiiwasan yun. So that's just the reality that that any national coach is faced with in the Philippines. And that's why we are doing the best we can with all the restrictions. And I understand everyone expects us to be blowing out the opposition here. But remember, when we put this lineup together, marami din nagsabi, sobra naman yung lineup yan, overkill naman yan. So, on one end, sasabihin nila, overkill yung lineup. Pagka nakanalo ka naman ng konti lang, sasabihin, bakit naman natin hindi tinatambakan ng lineup? So, di ba, it's really a very difficult position for us. So, luckily, I am insulated from all that because I don't know what people are saying. So,
Coach Shot, did Coach Tab Baldwin face the same problems before? Yung parang nahirapan din siya, alam ko, with getting players to commit to the program, and that's why he has been saying na parang you can't just come into the bubble and just play during game day. Kung kayo po nakikita nyo na at ito na nakikita natin yung resulta, medyo naaalanganin tayo kahit paano hindi pa ngayon, pero in the future, like in the Asian Games and higher levels of play, kahit paano mas malaki yung at stake doon.
yes.
How are you gonna deal with all of that?
Well, what we are doing is we have already sat down with the PBA and with the SPP. We have already crafted a program that's broken down per month. So from now, actually from last April pa, all the way to August next year, naka-breakdown na lahat who are the players that we are looking at. In fact, I think in the next day or two, we're going to release now our pool for the third window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers and the FIBA Asia Cup. And that is going to be composed of the UAP and NCAA players naman because the PBA is ongoing. So nakikita na namin lahat yan. So that's already all plotted out. And I'm sure marami na naman magsasalita about that and bakit wala si ganito, but wala si ganun. But I hope they understand that as much as we want certain players to be here, there are certain realities that do not allow us to do so. And ganun talaga eh. There are some players we wanted to be here, but nakikiusap, papahinga muna sila, and we accept that, and we understand the toll on the bodies of players who have been, for example, in the PBA finals or who have been in the UAP NCAA. Mahirap naman talaga yun. So ang pakiusap ko lang is that our end goal is the World Cup in 2023. Everything we're doing from now going there, then they can judge the program by how we perform in August 2023. If we win or we lose now going to 2023, it's very little matter, di ba? The important thing is how well is we put our best team together in 2023. And in that regard, the PBA has already given their full support. We've already agreed on schedules, calendars. Alam na yan ng PBA Board of Governors, Commissioner Willie Marshall, the SBP. We're all working together. So hopefully
Medyo
by
hindi
then,
lang nasama itong SEA Games sa
yeah, well, nasama to, but in the sense that yung gusto natin talagang malakas na lineup, nagkaroon nga ng mga difficulties. For example, Dwight Ramos was a very early commit here, but then suddenly he had issues with his Japanese ball club, so hindi siya nakasama. 'di ba? Si Robert Bolick had to be with his father, fly to Texas to be with his father. Kevin Alas suddenly had to stay there in Manila to be with his wife, with Selena, 'di ba? Japet Aguilar has an injury. So
Apo.
ang daming nangyari, 'di ba? So that's
Adjust
the
lang tayo
reason.
ng adjust. Oo.
Yeah.
Okay, coach. Puntahan natin yung mga bata natin. They're showing they're doing well. Si Lebron Lopez, for example, si Will Navarro in that other game, R. Pugoy. What can you say about their performance and how they're showing out?
When we put this team together, we put a team together that we thought could get the job done, but also with a view of development. And
Mm-mm.
those players, Francis Lopez, Will Navarro, JD Tungkab, George Go, Kim Montalvo, they are the 5 players who are the young ones, the 25 and below. So yun yung development that it's not a certainty that they'll make the World Cup team, but at least we are continuously developing the younger crop of players. We would have loved to have Justin Baltasar, Carl Tamayo, John Spencer, here in this James Spencer of UP here in this lineup, but hindi nga pwede because they were still competing at that time, right? So that's really something that we set out to be one of the objectives of this Southeast Games participation, to
Para
get
magka-confidence din sila.
yes, a lot of
Get a feel.
exposure and
Coach,
the
coach, sa
experience
atin,
ng mga bata.